Hey guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian. We're talking about this December, and it is a humdinger. I'm going to give you the all signs forecast. Check your rising sign first, then your sun and moon. Before we do that, I can't tell you everything that's going to happen in December. It's just too big. I picked out my top 1, 2, 3 amazeballs things that you should know about, and then just stay tuned on my channel for little updates about the smaller aspects in the sky as the month goes on. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys is that don't forget to like and subscribe and check my description box below. I have a really cool course I'm doing on the day that Neptune goes direct, which is a Wednesday, December 1st. It's going to be a magical day. It's such a super enchanted sky, and I would love you to join me for what is going to be a magic and manifestation storyline on that day in a Zoom class in the evening of December 1st. Check the description box below. Now let's get going. Oh, that necklace is so bright. So bright. It's glaring. I'll put it down here for a sec. So here's the deal. You can see that I put a picture here of Venus. This is emblematic of the earth goddess vibe of Venus. And, it's because Venus plays a huge role in December. Like, oh my gosh, she's in Capricorn, where she went, and November 5th will be till the beginning of till March next year. And she basically is going to be with Pluto for a lot of December. And it's a really big deal. Her long sojourn with Pluto is pretty insane. From around December the 8th to the end of December, she's dancing really close to him. And she's going to be making 3 conjunctions or joining with Pluto in the sky over the course of December 11th and 14th, really tightly connected to Pluto, the god of the death and underworld journey. Then later on, December 24th and 25th, yes, Merry Christmas. Another conjunction, that's her retrograde conjunction. And then later on March the 3rd or 4th, and she's going to go back and touch down with Pluto once more. Her capacity to touch Pluto 3 times in a row is pretty rare in such a tight time frame. And it's because of her retrogradation and therefore 4-month stay in Capricorn. So the last time she was in Capricorn for this long was back in 2013, December, and into the new year. But I don't think she did 3 retrogrades over Pluto, although he was in Capricorn at the time. I have to go back and look, but I'm not sure. But the idea here is this. What is going to be going on in all of our lives where the themes of Pluto, Venus prevail throughout December and then really come back in full force again in March of 2023. Now, I have some general thoughts. 1, stock market correction and currency corrections, because death and god of death and abducting Persephone to the underworld. The Persephone myth, or any abducted goddess myth, or abducted any myth to the underworld, is very Pluto/Venus, Venus in her maiden essence, in her more innocent essence. The other archetypes I can think of, are things like Kali, the god of destruction, like a fierce goddess associated with death, with all the heads on her neck. And the thing is, well, Pluto and Venus are often described as intense obsessive love, or that kind of thing, or a fatal attraction, or like super charismatic, super juicy, magnetic, being magnetic. Those are true. But this is a sky that has so much else going on in Capricorn, with Mars joining in later next year, and Juno, the asteroid for connected loyalty. And it's just a very busy part of the sky. So I don't think we can just make it so simple. But in the case of the Venus-Pluto story, definitely expecting a significant market correction, stock market correction, currency correction, whatever, currency, stock market, etc. I mean, it is overinflated. I think the bubble will pop. I don't know if cryptos will come out on top in the end of the day, but in the short term, when a market corrects, it seems like everything goes with it. So I'm expecting that. Also, I would also like to point out, because I'm going to do all signs and I'll give you the 3 top things, that Venus story is a big deal, and we will cover Venus in depth. One of my favorite new books that I got is The Archetypal Universe by Ren Butler, where he pairs the planets and quadruples the planets and comes up with these pithy descriptions. But Venus, Pluto, I just want to read the first paragraph of his very lengthy treatment. These are the principles of Venus and Pluto when they're joined together. Deep and intense passions, renewing and regenerating forces in relationships, the power of love and the drive to unite, the interplay of beauty and the beast, a tendency toward obsessive attraction, feelings of jealousy and possessiveness, passive aggression or manipulation, and a love of power. Now, here's the thing. In the mundane story of the sky, Pluto, Venus could be a very powerful female dying, or a very powerful rise to power, like a powerful rise to power of a powerful female. If you watch my video that I did earlier in this month, a couple weeks before this video, you can go check out the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden story, where I think that she's going to step into being the president in 2022, if not sooner, due to some challenges that Joe Biden may have with his health. I don't know if he's going to stay there, or just cover him while he's sick, but I did cover that in my video. It has to do with how the eclipses have hit both Kamala and Joe Biden's chart. Sorry about that flashing light there. That's just the optical illusion of my lamp behind me, and I can't fix it. Okay, the other thing I'd say is that we do need to also look at a bit of enchantment in the sky, and we're going to do this in the all signs. Neptune will be in a super beautiful relationship to Venus called a sextile, while also in a trine to Mars. So sextiling Venus and Capricorn, trining Mars with Scorpio, and that little teeny tiny triangle is a very, very luscious, enchanted bit of sky that happens on December 1st. And so you might be really interested in checking out my magical course. Check the link below, where on that day we're going to do some magic together to harness the incredible asteroids, stars, and everything up there. We have incredible potency in that mini grand trine of good karma and good luck happening in the sky that day. I'll cover how it affects you and your all signs, and in a gist of it. Of course, we do have that eclipse on December 4th, but guys, I did a whole all signs video on the December 4th Sagittarius eclipse, solar eclipse. So please check that out up at the description. I'll put it in the description link below. Last but not least, so the third big thing, we have the Neptune-Venus thing in the beginning of December. We have Venus hanging with Pluto for most of the month, starting after December the 8th. And then lastly, we have the long-awaited / dreaded last gasp of Saturn square Uranus. Now, that was February and June. There were the first two squares, the direct and retrograde square. And here we have the last salvo. Sorry. Yeah, got that right. So I don't retrograde direct. I can't even remember the story. No, Saturn, but anyway, Saturn squaring Uranus. Excuse whatever I just said, just delete it. It's a long day of recordings and clients, and I'm kind of toast. So Saturn squaring Uranus is a story. Yeah, it was retrograde. Saturn was retrograde in the middle. It has to be to do it 3 times. It's like what wants to be broken down, disrupted, overhauled, revolutionized, changed Saturn, that Saturn in Aquarius and dignity wants to hold on to the status quo, the way it is, the way things have been, the way things should always be. Saturn in Aquarius is looking like government control, lockdown measures, pandemic restrictions, enforcement of things, that are the way it should be, especially with Aquarius regarding the people and the connectivity of humanity. And then Uranus in Taurus is disruption. Now, he can very much disrupt food supplies as well when he's in Taurus. And we're expecting a lot of food chain and other supply chain issues coming up in December for a lot of reasons, some of them are climate and environment. So we may find this as a lean and mean Christmas because of that. But Saturn finishing his last of 3 gritty squares to Uranus in December. This could tie in very much with, because he's exact on December 24th in that last salvo, it could tie in very much with what Pluto and Venus are doing together. So I don't know exactly how to interpret that sky, but it could be some major climate crisis or really intense event in the world of the magnitude of 9/11, but doesn't have to be a terrorism event, that can be quite catastrophic or intense, and everybody is dealing with it in their own way, including protests and revolutions and rebellions. And that Pluto Venus is there in the background going, the death of capitalism, the death of money, the death of love. Eek! Oh my goodness. Queen Elizabeth isn't doing well. She has some health problems. Her husband died as well. He was at 99 when he died, and so recently. And so I could also say Venus Pluto could be Queen Elizabeth passing away as well as a powerful female death story. I don't think that'll cause riots in the streets of England at all. I just think that's a side story. Okay, so those are some general themes. I'm going to say one thing. It's busy and it's intense. We've got the Pluto Venus conjunction. We've got the retrograde Venus, which I'll do another video on. We've got the eclipse, I said that. We got the Saturn square Uranus. I think we'll be able to look back at this December from the, rearview mirror of, let's say, summer of 2022 and go, that was a catalytic month that that created a lot of intensity. And by the summer of 22, we're still not quite over it all. You know, that's kind of how it feels to me. Although there are some enchanting skies in 22. Check my all signs forecast out when the bundle comes out. But there is still residual intensity, because even Saturn squaring Uranus will complete its story almost not until the fall of 22. There's a gentle sort of half-assed version of it. Like, I mean, not exact. Okay, so let's get going on the all signs. Sorry about everything flipping in and out of visual field here. It has to do with the lighting in my apartment and the way it's set up right now. I think it's causing it to exacerbate. What can you do, right, guys? All right, so moving on. I'm going to do the all signs. There are 3 intense things happening, because in the middle of the month, I will do each of these in great detail. I will actually go into them. I'm going to try my best just to sort of focus on one. I think I'm going to focus on one, because I tend to do all of these. And so I really want to focus on the Venus-Pluto conjunction for all signs. And I may touch base on some of the other things I mentioned, such as the Neptune sextile Venus in the beginning of the month and the Saturn square Uranus at the end. I'll just let it flow, but I don't want to do a 2-hour video. I just don't want to do a 2-hour video. All righty, so I'm going to grab my chart and I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. And we're going to start with more traditional format. I'm going to start with Aries again, which I often don't do. So let me just get the chart lined up. Sorry, I'm in the back end here, but I had advanced myself a year ahead. So let's move at least until the month of December, you know? Yeah, that would be useful. All righty. And we're starting, I said, with Aries. I'm going to just try my best to sort of weave a story for you guys, rather than to, like, try to slice the aspects up, because, you know, everyone has a different reaction to stories like this in terms of how it's going to impact them. For instance, Mars will move into Aries for, you know, you guys in December on the 20th. That's a deal, right? But there's a whole video coming for that. Okay, so Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. You can expect the sky in this intense December to bring you some beautiful, sweet blessings in the very beginning of the month. Let's say the first week of December, from that Neptune trine Venus, where things are going to flow a lot in your career. This could be a really sweet time in the first week where you feel like the divine has got your hand and is taking you by the hand in career success. And you'll feel quite enchanted in a lot of ways with the way money can come to you and power through your career ambitions and directions. Thank you, Neptune, Venus, Mars in that little mini grand trine. You can also look forward to, I suppose, that intensity around December 11th to 14th, and then again December 24th and 25th. Connect those dots when Pluto and Venus connect in your 10th house of career, reputation, and status. Sometimes that's like status, like I'm divorced, I'm single, I'm widowed, I'm married. Some of that death of status could be happening, but you can be very charismatic, super persuasive, super potent, super power woman, in like Wonder Woman, power woman in your career during this month. Really look to December 11th to the 14th, when the first Venus-Pluto conjunction happens, and you might note some significant developments in what you're cooking up in your career direction. Being honored, having a raise, getting a promotion, being honored by a female, getting more money from your career. All of these things are possible with that Venus-Pluto in your 10th house. And it's heating up, of course, all the way through to March of next year. So there's a big story of career advancement and money and success in your career that's coming from this glorious, juicy Venus-Pluto energy. And, you know, Venus-Pluto is a wealth yoga as well. So it could be bringing you greater wealth. And some of that wealth may come through inheritance. I'm not wishing that for you, but you got Mars trining, sorry, I didn't want to say it that way. You've got this intense Pluto energy with Venus in your 10th house, and Pluto is the natural ruler of the 8th house, which is inheritances. Some of you may experience some of your money coming through an inheritance through to March of next year, but I'm not necessarily promising that or forecasting that. Lastly, I would say, you know, given that Venus is the natural ruler in your chart, right, guys, of your second house of money, and earnings from your work that you do, your vocation, as well as your 7th house of love and relationship. There's a definite feeling that whatever she's doing at the top of the sky in your 10th house with Pluto, the god of power, is rippling into powerful new relationships, business partnerships, and earnings for most of you. So it's not the worst journey of Venus Pluto that you could possibly have in your 10th house. Last but not least, Aries, at the end of the year, Saturn will square Uranus, and we've already talked about how freaking intense that's going to be. It's the last of the February, June, and last salvo on this story. For you guys, the way it can feel quite often with this energy of Saturn and Uranus, because, it's happening for you in your 2nd house of earnings, where Uranus has been traveling now for, oh my God, since 2019 in earnest, and Saturn in your house of great gains from your career, that a lot of you Aries have erratic ups and downs in your earnings story in 2021, as that journey of the square from Saturn in your 11th house of great gains from your career to your money house has been ongoing. I can certainly attest to some serious ups and downs in my income level, like making no money one month while I drove across the country, and then like really making a lot of money when I taught 3 courses last May. And, it's just very inconsistent. On the other hand, Uranus is definitely, for a lot of Aries, sun, moon, and rising, working his magic in your 2nd house to bring you what is a classic rags to riches signature, Uranus in the 2nd. So after the gritty Saturn thing is done, where Saturn's trying to bring you legacy ways that you can make money that will last, that are enduring, not just one-offs. And that's what's going on right now. And this energy of how to make enduring money will be clear to you as this year closes out and as December closes out. Okay, I hope that wasn't too fast and you can make sense of that. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. Well, come on, Taurus. It's a big month for you, right? The ruler of your identity is meeting Pluto 3 times. December 11th to 14th, December 24th to 25th. Something just moved in my house without me, and March, around March the 3rd, 4th. And so this is a really intense energy, but it's in your 9th house. So it's not hitting your body in a hard way, by the way. The 9th house trines your 1st house of Taurus. So Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant people are having positive flowing energy from this. It's like you're powering up when it comes to higher education, foreign shores, Dharma, your true purpose in life, the path you're here to walk, your spiritual life, book publishing, if that's something that you're into, and also guides and mentors, and the deeper meaning of life, the undergirding of life. And to say foreign shores, 2 trips to foreign shores. So, certainly some of you may travel Venus December 14th or December 24th to a foreign shore, especially that retrograde in December through to March. You might, December retrograde and then later March, any of these can involve trips to foreign shores. But I would say this to you, the deeper meaning of this transit for you Taurians is that Venus is trying to up-level you in terms of your belief and faith in what matters in life. Venus Pluto could actually take you on a journey of a death of somebody in these months ahead, to then give you a deeper root into what it is you think is true. Is there a God? Is the universe a friendly place? What is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of my life? Existential questions could be coming up for you. A death of a female friend, it happens, could really send you into an existential tailspin. But the other side of that is it's trining your ascendant. So it's going to be in all, very fortuitous and powerful and positive. There's that enchanted sky with Neptune trining Mars, or Mars trining Neptune, and then Neptune and Venus in a sextile in the beginning of December, especially around the 1st. I think that's going to be a super enchantment for you guys, and the enchantment looks a lot like how you can be more connected to your primary love partner or business partner in an enchanted, optimistic, faith, hope-filled way. And also just maybe something as simple as taking a trip with your partner, or planning something with your partner, or going away with your partner to some ashram or spiritual retreat. But it's also leveling up with your partner in terms of how you and your primary love partner see the world together. And it definitely can lead to some hot sex. Last, but with a transcendent vibe. And lastly, there's that Saturn squaring Uranus at the end of December, and that around the December 24th mark, but it's, building and building from the 15th of December onward. And that last of that square is really for you guys, that gritty energy of Uranus in your house of identity. You've been under renovation since actually 2018, when there was a temporary ingress in May to October of Uranus in your first house, and then continuing in full time in 2019. And this is not done until 2026. You are being absolutely electrified to find out what's your original spark, what's your original medicine, who are you really, how can you be different, innovative, inventive, how are you going to break out, be free and outside the box in your life. And a lot of that breaking free is from your family of origin and beliefs about who you should be, that your family told you should be, that someone told you that you should be, and you're breaking down those ancestral stories. Now, this Saturn thing this year, February, June, and then December, Saturn is doing that pressure of squaring Uranus from the house of your career and your purpose, like how you want the world to see you, the actions you need to take in the world in order to have a career that's successful. And Saturn's renovating that part of your chart until till March of 2023. And so this year has been really a big toss and turn and up and down around the work, the profession, the career story, and also maybe your status in life as well, like married or not. Saturn here, though, is definitely mostly working on your career direction or your purpose. And with that square to Uranus, you've had some twists and turns. And this December 24th is the last twist and turn in that story, or the last sense of needing to really break through something to see clearly or know clearly how you want to have a career that fits who you really are. Now, when I mentioned the Venus story, going back to that and how she's, up in that 9th house, well, she is up there, but she does own your body. And this is good powering up for more physical vitality and wellness in your body, because she's mostly in a long trine to your physical body. But she also, I want to mention this, she also is the exaltation lord of your house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, where Neptune's traveling. This is a time for you to really lean into what is it you want in your life that you aspire to for your 5, 10, and 15-year plan. Okay. And she also owns your 6th house of health and work protocols. And during her long stay close to Pluto in December, she's really going to ask you to up level there in terms of the habits and routines for your health and your work that are more powerfully supportive of your physical wellness. Hey, moving on. Gemini, sun, moon, and especially rising sign, the energy of, we're starting with Venus because she's doing her November through to March stay in your 8th house. And where I like Venus, I love Venus here. She's in Capricorn. She's a wealth goddess now in a wealth yoga, really. This is really up leveling your money. So a lot of you Geminis are going to, you might spend some money here too. Venus does like to spend on luxury items, but a luxury car, luxury home could be there. But in essence, there's a sense of potentizing your earnings, not your earnings, your investment monies, your bank loans, your mortgages, your spousal money, your jointly held money, all of that. And I don't feel like this is as hard as some of the people have it. I feel like Venus in the 8th house is okay there, and Pluto definitely loves it there. So you might be mining some depths of your savings or inheritances or monies to bring into your life and use them in your daily life, in your 6th house life, in your, Pluto naturally owns your 6th house of your daily routines. If you've been like wishing you just had a really good car to get to and fro, or you really wished you had a comfortable mattress, some of these things could be coming. That's kind of silly, but true. Venus will be December 11th to 14th and 24th to 25th, really close to Pluto. Both of those are connected in some way to each other. And so look for how money is really playing a strong role in, or your spouse's money, or your business partner money in that point of your life. Venus is a natural happy ruler of your 5th house. She loves, she's Libra 5th house. She loves giving you really good long-term love relationships. If she can pull it off, she wants you to find your life mate. If you are definitely not mated and you're a single Gemini, I think Venus will actually try to help you out there, because this Pluto power can be about a deep, connected, powerful, transformational love. And it isn't a square to the 5th house that she owns. And so therefore it could be lobbing an intense and powerful love affair for you singletons your way during December. Lastly, I would say that given that she is the exaltation lord of your 10th house of career, a lot of this power that's coming up in the 8th house can fortify some career advancements and decisions you're making, and be allowing you to gain greater power in your workplace, whatever that may be, whatever your workplace may be, or with your peers or with your bosses. Now, the sweet little piece of sky in the beginning of the month is that Neptune in a trine to Mars and a sextile to Venus. That is going to light up your health and work protocols and your career, all giving you a lot of juice in the money house. I think this is going to be good luck in your workplace. I think a lot of you Geminis could get in this window of the first week of December, even some kind of promotion, advancement, or step up in your career financially. So that feels good. You could get bonuses, a bonus check or something like that. At the very end of the month, Saturn will square, although he starts around the 15th building up, but the 24th, Saturn squares Uranus directly. And you may feel this Saturn square Uranus energy, which has been going on February and June. It's a long story, right? All year long, as kind of like a conflict between your beliefs and what your faith is and what you hold to be true about the way the reality structure works, your religion even. And the friction from those beliefs that are trying to stabilize or fortify or build something strong, and disruptive erratic Uranus in your 12th house of self-undoing addictions, inner life, dreams at night, all of that. It literally could be things like Uranus is trying to disrupt your addiction to some substance. But maybe in your belief structure, it's a good thing. Like we should all take shamanic journeys every day by, smoking weed or something. And now, Saturn's up there cleaning up your what you believe. So a lot of your beliefs are being Saturnized right now, and will be until 2023. I mean, Saturn could draw you to a traditional religion or a spiritual path that you've never had before. And all of a sudden things that are 12th house are having to be disrupted and fall away. Self-undoing is a big one. I mean, certainly with Uranus there, he's getting rid of a lot of that self-undoing, and he's opening your pineal gland, third eye, to how you screw your own life up. Some of you look like you might be going off to join a monastery here in this chart. But, a lot of you Geminis are looking for the deep spiritual true meaning of life in a way you may not have done or looked at again for at least 30 years, okay? It could be a crisis of faith with the Uranus bolts from the 12th house, but it's also building a solid spiritual foundation for you. I think I covered it. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon here in Vancouver, Canada on November 22nd, and it is almost dark out already. And I have the ring light on, which always irritates my eyes because I don't like bright lights. I always think I was interviewed under a bright light and tortured in some lifetime. Everyone I know, all my ex-husbands are like, there's only two. They're like, oh, she can't stand having an overhead light on. And I have to turn it off and have little lamps glowing in my house. That's a personal Lori break for you. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. You are having the energy of this month. It's an intense month. Mostly, we're going with the Venus story to start. Venus is in your 7th house of love, business partnership, and clients and significant others, and your publicity from your career if you have to need that, like your audience, fans, and marketplace. Now, 10th from the 10th, I would tell you that you are definitely feeling this in your primary significant relationship zone. And if you're single, there's likely something that's going to heat up. A new, powerful, hopefully not fatal attraction person entering your life in December. Look to the 11th to the 14th and the 24th to the 25th, and later on March of next year for a 3-part story of the same theme. Now, Venus in your 7th house with Pluto could also bring in an end of a significant friendship relationship, death of a friendship. Venus rules friendships, maybe with a female, but it also can power up an intense confrontational intensity of jealousy and possessiveness with your primary love partner or spouse. Watch for that tendency. Now, it's on the descendant for you guys. So it could be they're having the intensity, the possessiveness, and the obsession and the jealousy, not you. But there's a lot of in there. And, with Venus there, November, December, January, February, this is a lot of focus on some kind of intensity in your primary relationship to your partner. It could also be about your business partnerships if you have one. Venus rules your house of home, land, and real estate, like where you live. So are there conflicts with your spouse or partner about the home, renovations, moving, buying, selling? It's pretty intense, really. There's a square to the 4th house. Are you fighting with your person? Are you fighting with people in your home? Or are you finding you want to transform your home or your relationship? And both of those. And maybe it's been really gritty to do that in some fundamental way. Venus is also the owner of the real estate of your 11th house, of your deepest, truer wishes, dreams, and hopes for your life. And when she's with Pluto, she's dying and being reborn. So in essence, like, I mean, well, she is doing that too. That's in January. She's going to the heart of the sun, but we'll get to that in another video. But I mean, she's coming into contact with the god of the underworld from the house of marriage. And in a way, she's supporting your hopes and dreams and wishes because she trines that house from here. So as she's going through some crucible in a primary love relationship, a lot of you Cancers may also be looking at your aspirations, your hopes and dreams and wishes being given a new life through this journey. And if you're single, then maybe this new relationship is the fulfillment of your hopes, dreams, and wishes. And then lastly, she exalts your ninth house of foreign trips and travel and foreign land. So maybe some of you are finding love in a foreign land or in a religious or community or a spiritual setting or in an academic setting too. Now, the beginning of the month of December 1st, Enchanted Sky, check my course below. You might enjoy coming in for Making a Little Magic on December 1st, but that kind of vibes out the first week of December. Neptune is going to sextile Venus and trine Mars, and that sort of first week of December is filled with what looks like a very sweet magical enchantment. And it's a lot to do with that Venus still. She's a peak of a mini grand trine. She's taking the energy of Neptune and she's taking the energy of Mars and she's putting it in your marriage and business partnerships house. So even though there's all that intensity, the sky is quite blessed in that first week. And pay attention to what opportunities may show up for greater passion and joy and play in your life. You know, Mars is in dignity in your fifth house, and it's really a sweet spot. She is a money goddess. She could bring you some money through a speculation with Mars's help, like buying a lottery ticket or placing a bet on a horse or something, or a casino thing. But don't go to town on that, right? Keep it in moderation. But Pluto Venus can be a wealth yoga, and it's coming with a sextile from Mars in the first week of month. I don't know. Mars could say, take action, buy a Powerball ticket or something. Yeah, I don't know. Could be. Who knows? Because the seventh house is where you have to sign the legal agreements to get the money from the lottery win. So who knows? So making a happy story for you guys. Making a happy story. End of the month, Saturn will square Uranus, the third since February, June, and then this last one, even though it's December 24th, you feel it as soon as the 15th, Saturn squaring Uranus, ongoing gritty tension between freedom and responsibility. So basically, Uranus is disrupting your hopes, dreams, and wishes since 2019 in earnest, and also your friendship circles. And also maybe some of your great gains from your career. Your money has been unstable and erratic from your career path since almost 2018, really. And now this Saturnian impulse for duty and responsibility and status quo is coming from your eighth house of your investment money and your spousal money and your sort of wealth, your legacy wealth. It's like you want to play it safe. You don't want to spend any money. You want to be really cautious. You got to keep your, all your ducks in a financial row. Saturn's good for that. And financial advisors are cautioning you, but there's an erratic impulse in the 11th to do something to create some great gains from your career, splurge on a new website, go outside the bounds of something and do it differently, or to honor your true dreams, hopes, and wishes, and forget about the cautious advice of Saturn in your eighth house. Cryptocurrency, Uranus and Taurus in your house of great gains, and this Saturn in the house of investments. Some of you could do really well. Some of you could, if you were knowledgeably investing in crypto. Wait till the downturn in the markets after the big crash by the end of this year. Alrighty, moving on. Sometimes I feel like an auctioneer. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, this is a very interesting Venus placement for the month of December. Don't forget she's there November, December, January, February in your sixth house of work and health protocols, livelihood, daily routines, workplace, etc. Now, this could be something as simple as December 11th and 14th and 24th and 25th, when she's touching down with Pluto, somebody in your office who's a female leaves, or a colleague or coworker who's a powerful female force resigns, steps down, or something like that. But it also can be that you are powering up and you are becoming more powerful, more charismatic, and more intense in your workplace and your work routines and your environment of work. And it can also be very much about powering up in your health area as well, in ways that are pleasurable and potent and powerful for how you treat your body to avoid sickness, etc. Venus is the ruler in your chart of your third house of your local neighborhood and your siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, trips and travel. She may want you to power up some positive trips and travels that could support your health or your routines. And she may also support you because she's the exaltation lord of your eighth house of wealth and investments and spousal money, empowering up the money, especially because she's in this sextile, whole sign sextile to your eighth house, sign of her exaltation. And I think that she's going to ask you to look at some kind of ways that you can extract more value and money from the daily work routines or the way you do the work you do in your life. And again, it could be a promotion because there's a stepping down of a colleague in your work environment, and you get to step up to a new level of power. You can also look at the fact that she is a ruler of your 10th house of career. And while she's powering up in your 6th house with Pluto, she's in a trine to your career house. And you may make some significant transformational changes in the way that, where you go to work, how you work, or the place you work in order to power up more career success in the year ahead. Now, you also want to look at that enchanted, beautiful sky December 1st and the first week of December in general, as Neptune is trining Mars and sextiling Venus. And that Venus is getting that glorious sextile energy from Neptune in your 8th house of money and earnings that come from loans, bank loans, spousal money, other people's money, government monies, whatever. And it's all flowing with her help. There's a lot of money flow going on. But that Mars in your 4th house of homeland and real estate, this may incite you to buy, sell, or move. And Scorpio, Mars, he's been there since October 30th. I bet a lot of you are thinking about picking up and relocating or buying or selling a property. And I think maybe what we're seeing here in the first week of December for some of you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, are either constructions, renovations, or buying and selling a property in your home, of your home. Or planning to do it, because by March, Venus will be in her last Pluto contact, and maybe getting everything ready for maybe putting your house on the market in the spring. Last, Saturn will square Uranus. February, he did it February, did it in June, he's doing it again. Starts to heat up February 15th, and it slam dunks on the 24th of December. December 15th, it slam dunks into place on the 24th of December. Saturn square Uranus has been a long, gritty tension point in all of our charts. But for you, it's Uranus trying to disrupt your career path and to change it and give it unusual, inventive ways of being, including the internet, including being, outside the box with your career. And with this tension of a square ongoing from Saturn in your 7th house, it could be a business partner or your primary partner, your spouse is giving you grief or tension about what you're doing in your career. Now, Saturn in the 7th house until March of 2023 is very hard on the relationship if you have a primary relationship. And with this ongoing square to Uranus in the house of reputation, this could be a sudden change. Like, I'm married, now divorced, I'm together, I'm apart, we're separated. I hate to say widowed, but it's also possible. So there's a lot of electricity here. Go back to February and June and see how were you doing in your primary partnership, because was there tension? Because that 10th house tension from Uranus may not be about your spouse hates your career. It could also be about you looking at, is it time to change my status in this relationship? Beginnings and endings, that kind of thing. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. So, hey, Virgos, you're getting a lot of power from Venus powering up with Pluto in your 5th house of love and romance and inspiration and the muse and money luck and speculation gains, like buying and investing something or a lottery ticket. This is a wealth yoga in a money luck house. And so some of you are coming into some money luck. But on the other hand, this is also the house of babies and fertility and children. Now, you could have an end of a relationship with the children with Venus, Pluto connecting December 11th to 14th, December 24th to 25th, but maybe because they denest, move away, or you move away, and there could actually be a big conflict brewing. By March, you'll know what this is. If you want to have children, however, Venus and Pluto together here are an odd combination. If you're trying to get pregnant, for instance, Pluto here is not necessarily the best guy, the god of, death in the house of children. This could be like you try to have a child and you have a miscarriage or an abortion is pending. So I would caution attempting fertility right now. But with Venus there, she's a benefic, and that could bring you a pregnancy. So it might be a transformational pregnancy. Like it could be coming out of the blue and you didn't expect it, because you've got Uranus in the ninth house, trining the house of fertility. And yet it could transform your life in a very positive and powerful way. Just one thought. If you're an artist, because Venus loves the arts and she's in the house of the arts, in the house of her joy, during her 4-month, November, December, January, February travel through your fifth house, your ability to be creative in a deep, powerful, transformational way and to create art that is absolutely mind-bendingly profound and deep is possible during this transit. Pay attention to your muse then, December 11th, 14th, December 24th, 25th, and then later in March of 2022. Virgos, you're able to command some kind of depth of creative energy that you normally can't access during this window of time. Don't ignore your guitar, your pen, your palette for your painting or whatever you do. Go for it. If you're a writer, filmmaker as well, you got a lovely sextile from Neptune too. Venus is the commanding force that owns your second house of earnings. A lot of Virgos are powering up their earnings during November, December, January, February because of Venus with Pluto in your fifth house. It's exciting. If you're a single Virgo, Pluto, Venus could be a new attraction. It doesn't have to be fatal. There is a trine to Neptune, sextile to Neptune going on in December from her. So it could be a very dreamy, romantic, upset, but very intense gravity well of a new attraction to somebody for some Virgos that, be careful here. There is a sextile from Neptune, so it could be dreamy, but it could also be you're not seeing the person clearly. So intense new relationship attractions and infatuations in December. But also powering up your money story, powering up your profession. She's working on your second house, and she's also the exaltation lord of your significant other relationship, your marriage partner, significant other. She's exalting that relationship in a powerful new way. If things have been really come see, come saw, not so great, well, I can tell you that with Venus in your fifth house anyway, November, December, January, February, things are powering up. But the sky connection with Pluto, December 14th-ish, December 24th, 25th is pretty beautiful to bring greater potency to that relationship. The first week of the month of December, when we have that mini grand trine with Neptune sextiling Venus and Mars sextiling Venus, and Mars trining Neptune makes a triangle. That is lovely. That's going to be maybe a journey or a trip you take. Mars has been traveling through your third house, probably wanting you to get away and have a journey somewhere because he likes to travel and adventure. He's in the third house of trips, trains, and planes and automobiles. So you may want to get off on a trip somewhere, a lot of you. And with this energy in the first week of December, with a trine to Neptune with your spousal, business, love, partnership energy, and also with the energy of the fifth house romance, there's a romantic trip that could brew the first week of December that will be enchanting. If you're an artist, however, the house of writing and self-expression, especially for writers, is the third house. Songwriters, Mars sextile Venus especially, the first week of December, you should listen to that muse, because with that trine to Neptune, you could concoct like the best new song ever, like Imagine, that Beatles song. There's something really amazing that you can create in the first week of December. Lastly, Saturn is squaring Uranus. Did it in February and June, and this is the last salvo on the 24th of December, but you feel it before then, okay? You feel it coming into play around December 15th. Now, Saturn likes status quo, what is to stay what is, and he likes hard work, and he's in your sixth house of work. I'm not going to mince this one. A lot of you Virgos, will all throughout 2022 be working really hard with Saturn in that sixth house until March of 23. So you're really working hard, you're disciplined, you're trying to put focus in regimes and structures into place for physical health and wellness and work routines, and you're doing a lot of hard work. But there's this disruption from Uranus in the ninth house, which it can be something as simple as you're yearning to have, here's my daughter, Virgo rising. She's working really hard in a gym right now, but she's going back to school, ninth house things, and she's going to have conflict between her work and her student hours and the need to make money in order to exist and pay her rent. Push and pull between those energies. That's been true for her already all this year as this energy has been going on. Now, I would say for you guys, Virgo people, you're working really hard, but Uranus wants you to have some kind of new, fresh freedom in the ninth house of foreign shores and lands and adventures. And a lot of you Virgo rising especially are going to be pushed and pulled between getting the frick out of, Dodge and going off on foreign adventures or deep mystical contemplations about the meaning of life, but grinding away with your work. So that's coming to a close at the end of this year. But the last journey through that grind versus the desire for freedom is going to be December 15th to the end of the year. I'm only at the halfway mark. I think I'm going really long. I gotta clear my throat. It's a long haul. I'm all shiny too. I didn't put any powder on. Okay, I was not remember I was going to use my ring light. Okay, moving on. Virgo, sun, moon, no, Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign folk. All right, so Venus is spending a long time, November through to March in your fourth house of home. For a lot of Libras, a lot of tension is in the nest. You're really beautifying it. You're finding your own earthy pleasures there. You may have female friends visit you. You're wanting to really nest in here in a potent, powerful way. Things that happen in your home and from your home, about your home, are strong for you right now. Now, with Venus in the Pluto contact, December 11th to 14th, and then again 24th and 25th, and later March of next year, there's something about transformation in the home or of the home. Some of you guys may actually sell a home or, move or add a new home or something like that. Certainly a lot of this could be powerful urge to refine and decorate the home, but Pluto's a god of the underworld. You may be digging under the foundation of your home. You may be digging into the basement of your own psyche and your relationship to your family of origin, especially the females in your family of origin during this winter as well. Venus is the ruler of the house of your body, and she is squaring that from her dive into the underworld of your fourth house. So health challenges can arise with her squaring the ascendant with Pluto. If so, you're going to find transformational, incredibly potent ways to reconnect to your better health through things to do with the land, the home, and the undergirdings of the beliefs you took on from your ancestral line and family of origin, correcting some misbeliefs or mistaken things you shoulder from the females in your family of origin, like beliefs about who you are, about what you should do, who you should be. Venus is the exaltation lord of your work routines and your house of sickness. So she's definitely going to, as she sextiles that part of your chart, bring you better health and better work routines during December. And also she is the she is the lord of your eighth house of loans and investments and savings. And so she's powering that up in a very positive trine. I think a lot of you may be buying and selling real estate in December through to March, and that's going to really power up your finances for some of you Libras. Now, moving on to the enchanted sky in the first week of December. In the first week of December, there's that sextile from Mars to Venus, and Mars is trining Neptune, and Neptune's sextiling Venus, making a little triangle in the sky. And that little triangle points at your fourth house of homeland and real estate, house of the mother as well. Mars is in your second house in dignity since October 30th, and he's still there in the first week of December, powering up your earnings and your money flow and your possessions and your self-worth. And that trine from Neptune in the sixth is like, how can you bring your power up in the way you do the work you do? What kind of holy dreams and visions can you create in terms of how your work is an act of service for the greater good, and how that can power up your money and your finances. And also you can do it in home, from home, or at home, or from things you are involved in the home. I think that enchanted sky with Neptune is such a glorious piece of real estate for you that I don't think you should neglect using a little astrological magic around that time. Come join me in my class. This is hitting you on the root of the chart, the fourth house. So check it out in the description box below. December 1st, live class with me, about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And we're going to dig deep and do a little shamanic journey work and a little bit of vision boarding if you want to create some magic around this enchanted time of December. Last but not least, Mars is squaring Uranus December 15th. You feel it is exact around the 24th. Ongoing, you felt this in February, you felt this in June, and here we go again. So Mars squares Uranus. Saturn squares Uranus. Saturn squares Uranus. It's a long day, guys. I still can't believe I'm only halfway through this. Saturn squares Uranus. Okay. So Saturn is in your 5th house of romance and your joy factor. You're working hard to have fun. Romance is withholding from you. Pleasure and fun and joy has been hard all through 2021, 22 into 23. This is a tough spot for you. Saturn here is causing it to be difficult to find your joy spark. And, certainly difficult to find romance. And even if you have children, relationships with your children may be strained. And so, or if you want to have a baby, it's been difficult. So this Libra, this is what you've been going through. Saturn is there, but Uranus is like sending disruptive jolts of flying sparks of energy from your 8th house. I would say that can be very much about 2 things. This is both money houses. So Uranus wants you to be riskier and inventive and crazy ass and take some bold chances in your money story around how you make chunks of money, like find new ways to be, rich. And Saturn is like, hold the course, be careful, be cautious, because the 5th house is speculation and gaming to make money. And Saturn is putting a tamper on that for you, or a damper, but tamping it down, putting a dampener on it. But Uranus is like, no way, we got to do something different. So I would pay attention then to around December 24th, if an opportunity comes out of the blue, and you may resist it at first, but it may be a ticket to financial freedom for some of you Libra people. All right. Oh, and a bolt of unexpected secrets being revealed that you didn't know about, secrets of the 8th house that really shocked the bejesus out of you, but you're going to get something good from it because it can liberate you to greater joy and freedom, or even greater financial gain. Find out your accountant's been sticking your money under his mattress instead of in the bank. I don't know. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign, you feel the energy of this Venus in her long 4-month stay, November to March, in your 3rd house of your local neighborhood, your short distance trips and travel, and your siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins, and your self-expression. And if you sell things, if you're a salesperson, the part of the chart that represents selling. So that for you guys, Venus here is like prima with Pluto. You are the master salesman, or you're on your game when it comes to the art of persuasion. Now, Venus is going to connect with Pluto December 11th to 14th and December 24th to 25th. I need some lip moisturizer. Hang on, I'll be right back. No, I won't. I'll finish you guys first. No, I'll be right back. It's like, you know what? I feel like an auctioneer. I've been talking for so long today between clients and videos. I am like toast. And my lips are so dry. I'm going to put some moisturizer on. I'm back. Sorry, guys. I probably need more water more than anything. I forgot where I left off. I'm so sorry. I was with Scorpio. Oh yes, I remember where I was. Okay, so did I start the recording again? Yeah, Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Yeah, I was talking about you. Okay, so one of the things I would say is that with Venus powering up in your 3rd house, your relationships with your aunts, uncles, cousins, and siblings could be powering up. But December 14th-ish, December 24th-ish, look for touch points with those family members, or a trip or travel you could take. They could offer you some powerful potency. And, I also love that Venus powering up with Pluto in your 3rd house, especially if you're involved in online marketing and sales, can be really powerful for some Scorpios in the world. Venus is the owner of your 7th house of primary love relationship, committed love, spousal love, and business partnerships. And she's trining that place until March. And so your relationship is powering up. Some of you will get engaged. Some of you will move from dating to getting together and committing, or moving in together. There's a lot of movement towards committed love through November to January, February, March, with Venus in your 3rd. Pluto touching down, you might get a proposal in December from the one you're with. In December 14th or December 24th, 25th, or get a proposal on the 14th and you plan the wedding on the 25th. I don't know. And then by March the invitations are out. Okay, so think about options there. Venus is the exaltation lord of your house of pleasure, fun, play, joy, and the muse. So if you're a Scorpio rising, especially, this is going to be, she's sextiling that house for 4 months. You're just really picking up your joy, fun, play, pleasure, your muse, your inspiration. This is really good for romance and great sex. This is really good for enjoying your life. And also, if you want, you can definitely have children with Venus sextiling your 5th house for that long. So there's also the possibility of conceiving a child. As well, your relationship with your children should flow a lot more during that time. November through to March. November, yeah. So, but that's December as well, obviously. And Venus is the owner of your 12th house of your dreams at night and your meditations, your spiritual desire to awaken from the dream. And she's giving you a little bit more of a juicy spot there as well. And what else? Let's go to the enchanted sky the first week of December. In the first week of December, you're feeling this sense of mystical, dreamy enchantment with regards to your creative energies, your desire to be an artist or to create something amazing, or you're feeling inspired. That's that Neptune in your 5th house of the muse in a beautiful sextile to Venus, the goddess of love, art, and beauty in the 3rd house. You might be also enjoying the company of friends at bars or pubs or restaurants, going out and having fun, going to the movies, just feeling a lot of love with life in the first week of December. You may gather with extended family in the first week of December, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings as well, and find it to be exquisitely pleasurable and super enjoyable. With that Neptune in a trine to Mars in your 1st house. So you are the action taker. Mars is in Scorpio, October 30th to December 13th. You've got it. This is your time. Every 2 years, Mars is in your 1st house. You owns you. You are like powerful. You're making gains in your career, your executive decision making. You had advancements in your careers or promotions, and you're just feeling strong and good about yourself. And during the first week of December, this is just amplified with a sextile from Venus. And if you're in a relationship, flirty fun with the one you're with in social events and going out. And if you haven't met somebody, Scorpio, go out to the bars and the restaurants and the pubs and have fun, because you could meet somebody with whom you are deeply attracted and will have a powerful, magnetic, intense, hopefully not obsessive relationship. Lastly, Saturn will square that Uranus. Did it in February and June. Last is December 24th. You feel it as early as the 15th. And that Saturn square Uranus grit is finally coming to an end. It's Saturn in your 4th house of home. A lot of Scorpios have been feeling that home life is hard. It may not be so much. You may feel alone, isolated, and distant. Who hasn't with COVID? But for you Scorpios, Saturn in your 4th house has been making you feel, especially since December 2020, like home is not easy. Home life could be hard, or it just feels like a grind. And, domestic stuff feels difficult. Private stuff feels difficult. And, but Saturn can also want you to build a new foundation around the idea of home, including construction around your home or finding a new solid, my forever home kind of thing. And this gritty square energy, this tension from Uranus in your house of marriage partnership, this can be like, you've already been dealing with this since 2018. So you've had some disruptions in your primary love and business relationships, but this last one is in December 24th. And so watch for conflict between you and the one you love in the home or about the home. And then finally, this energy, this push-pull, this dynamic tension is coming to a close. Whew. Oh my God, I just lost the entire screen. I thought I lost you guys. I was like, no. Okay, I don't know what happened. The whole screen disappeared on me. Okay, we're racing through Sag, Cap, Aquarius, Pisces. Whoa! Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Here's December in a nutshell. Venus in your 2nd house, loving you up with your money story. November, December, January, February. Yay, you. She's trying to give you more money. She's giving you stable money, money that endures, money that lasts, legacy wealth. You're trying to figure out how to have money, how to have values and earnings and potential and voice and vocation and money. And she conjuncts Pluto December 11th to 14th, December 24th to 25th, and later in March on the 3rd. All these stories are related. She's trying to power you up to greater potential wealth. And it's in how you earn the money, not how someone gives it to you from an inheritance, not usually. It's 2nd house money. And you have this energy of Venus being the lord of your home, your land and your real estate. Much of that can be a pull to sell or buy real estate that could be really important in terms of up-leveling your wealth. And some of you may buy or sell real estate between now and March. And this intensity, December 14th and the 25th, is just building up for that potential sale of a piece of land or a home or something like that. Or a powerful move to a new home that fortifies your finances. And maybe you're paying too much for where you live. I know a Sag son who's paying a lot too much for a big house and he just lives there with his wife. Why not downsize to an apartment? You know what I mean? So if you're listening, Sag ex-husband, why are you paying so much in rent? You don't need a whole house, a 4-bedroom house. You need an apartment, right? So it could be something as simple as Venus pressures you to downsize because of that energy of owning the house of real estate in your chart. She's also the Lord of your hopes, dreams, and wishes of the 11th house, great gains from your career. If she's powering up in the second, she's going to affect the 11th. Now she is squaring the 11th. You may find that the gains from your career aren't enough. You may find that there's not enough support there, or that your hopes, dreams, and wishes are not in alignment with your needs for money and earnings to be powered up. And you'll have to deal with that conflict a little bit during December and into March. Lastly, like you dream to move to a foreign land, but you just can't afford it, right? Like to be an expat somewhere. Lastly, but not leastly, she is the Lord of your 6th house of health routines. And from her perch in your second is trining that place, as well as your work and health routine. She's really trying to help you up level your health and your work routines in a way that's sustainable, creates greater wealth and better health in December. Okay, next. In the first week of December, starting on December 1st, with that beautiful Neptune trine Mars sextile Venus energy, that mini grand trine, the call here is simple. Pay attention to your own self-undoing and self-sabotage. Since October 30th, Mars has been trying to cut away your addictions, your bad habits and patterns, and the way you undo yourself as he's journeying through your 12th house until December 13th. It's during that first week, though, that he's in a positive harmony with Venus, the goddess of pleasure, in the house of food, things you stick in your mouth, wine, food, cigarettes, I don't care what, things you ingest, put through your mouth is that. Now, Mars is sextiling Venus, so they can make a positive adjustment to your food or intake around things that you're eating and help you easily eliminate some kind of self-defeating habit, addiction, or food style in the first week of December. At the same time, Neptune also offers a sextile from the 4th house of home and land and real estate. So a lot of this could be really engaging you in that first week of December to see a new vision about your life and how you operate in your health habits, I would say. If you want to travel to a foreign shore, Mars can do that in the 12th house, and you may be concocting a trip and planning a dream trip and finding the resources to pay for it, to have a journey away from home or home away from home in the first week of December. Then lastly, Sagittariuses. You have, am I lastly? Yes. Saturn will square Uranus for the 3rd time, February and June behind us, and the last square in December on the 24th, but you feel it heat up around the 15th, and that square is gritty. It has been an ongoing tension for the entirety of 2022 between 3rd house matters, where Saturn is sitting, and Uranus with his bolts of fire, electricity in your 6th house. Well, these are very interesting houses. First of all, the cadence, they're falling away from the angles, kind of vibrationally, they're difficult, busy houses or whatever. I would say that you might be looking at a situation, all right, where ongoing throughout 22, there's been a push-pull between feeling constraint, restriction around selling, buying, learning, trips and travel, or your things that go on in your neighborhood. All 3rd house things have been feeling really hard and difficult. And with Uranus disrupting things from the 6th house of the workplace, the work routines and the health protocols, I don't know that I would say that this is going to resolve itself entirely by the end of the December, but it could look like a disruption at work or in the office space, for instance, and in December 24th, and Saturn really wanting to tamp it down, to stabilize something from your 3rd house. Now, if you have a sibling, this is really the house of siblings, this may be a time of engaging that sibling in a struggle or a difficult battle over something, or aunt, uncle, or cousin, to do with 6th house matters, which can be debt. Does your sibling owe you money? Do you owe your sibling money? Is there debt energy between you and a sibling that needs to be resolved? And the end of December may be about that. Does somebody owe somebody something, whether it's actual money or just a favor? Well, sibling tensions heat up in December. All right, moving on. I feel like I'm at the finish line. Okay, I'm almost at the finish line, guys. I'm coming down the pike here. Here we are, Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign folk. Now, you guys are experiencing a lot of Venus in the house of your identity, your body. Good for your confidence, November through to March. Good for your sense of being attractive. Good for your sense of being charismatic and persuasive. With Pluto there too, you are like a commando of persuasion and seduction and getting what you want. So you need to lean into that power. But with her touching down on Pluto directly, December 11th to 14th, December 24th to 25th, and later in March, these are touch points of greater power of self. You have the power. You are the power. You are so commanding. Get what you want, go for it, do it. I think this is powerful and good for you. I mean, I can't say anything negative about this. It's certainly going to up-level your career. You can up-level your she owns your 10th house of career. You could get a vast promotion, push for it. You could go from like a little dude to make big dude or dudette in the workplace. Promotions, advancements, new levels of power in your career are super powered up. New levels of things to do with self-expression. She exalts your third house, sibling relationships, trips and travel as well, getting powered up because of that. Short trips and travel, I should say, not long distance. And lastly, she owns your fifth house of sex, play, fun, joy, pleasure, the muse, creativity, and your children. Those things get some super sweet energy from her during the whole month of December, as she is in a trine to your fifth house. It's definitely a good time to connect with your children, to have children, to connect with fun, play, joy, pleasure, and renewed sexuality. If sex has been on the back burner for you, you're feeling sexy, Venus is in your first house, you may as well make the most of it. The first week of December has got the auspicious trine, and I love it. It's like mini grand trine, and so Venus is receiving that in the house of your identity, from Neptune in the house of your neighborhood, trips and travel, and from Mars in the 11th house of friends and allies. I have a feeling it's just going to look like a lot of fun with some friends in a local environment the first week of December, and you're really feeling good about it. And Mars will help you, up level your way you see yourself in relationship to your local community or your friends and allies. Mars is also ambitiously moving through your 11th to cut out friends and allies that you don't need or want, or friends that are no longer useful or right for you. Alrighty. Woo! The end of the year. I hope I'm not getting you guys, I'm getting tired, so I hope I'm not going too quickly at the end, but I'm ready for like food or something. All right. Content creators on YouTube, how do you guys do it? I find that this is like energizingly exhausting because I talk all day to clients and I talk into a camera. I need to rethink this strategy. All right. Saturn square Uranus. All right, so Saturn is your Lord of Capricorn. So you have an affinity for Saturn. You like stability. You like it all. You like the rigors of discipline and duty and all responsibilities that Saturn brings. And he is in your second house of money. You don't necessarily like that, but he is the Lord of your ascendant. So he may be trying to give you enduring, reliable, consistent foundations for greater financial success, where he's been doing that since December of 20 until March of 23. I know some caps who just want to retire now. I don't think so. Not with Saturn in your second house, building up legacy foundation energy. And with this energy of Saturn in the second house, he's receiving, intensity or fried energy or demands for freedom and change from Uranus in the house of fun, joy, play, and pleasure. It's quite simple. February, June, and December, girls just want to have fun. You want to get out and play. You want freedom to be you. You want to win the lottery. You want to just jackpot out of here. And you want to have a big financial gain of some kind. Uranus in the fifth is like, let's play the lottery. Let's race, do the horse races. I don't know. Or you want to have electrifying romance and fun, but you've got a lot of hard work. And it's because your voice, vocation, and possessions need to be fortified. Only once every 30 years will Saturn give you the grit as a Capricorn rising to create a stable amount of financial gain that you can rely on, so you can have the freedom to have the fun that you want. And in this December, this is especially on the 24th, coming to a head. An example would be your lover wants to fly off to Paris and you can't afford it, or you're really convinced you should take a speculative investment risk that may not pay off. Be very careful. And Saturn may put a kibosh on that. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, guess what, Aquarius? We're experiencing, I'm an Aquarius rising, this very subtle journey of Venus through the 12th house of sabotage and self-undoing, hidden enemies. And the way that we have we access our imagination, our dreams, and our reveries, and our inner life to do with our spiritual awakening. So Venus is going through here and has been, November, December, January, February. Last time Venus was spending 4 months here is 2013, 14. And by the way, it was a time of deep spiritual awakening, questing, and cool stuff for me as well. However, during this December, 11th to 14th and 24th to 25th, and then later in March, her 3 touch points with Pluto, you're going to find that it's quite possible that this inner journey is about letting go of the pleasures that are no longer serving you, like, wine or cigarettes or, Netflix binging or something like that. You may also find that a female friend or ally is someone is not doing well physically. They may have some illness. This is the house of hospitals, and you may have to attend to that female. Usually a Venus person in your life is not your child, for instance, or your parent, but a female friend or colleague. You could also find that with the December Pluto touch point, because Venus is the ruler or exaltation lord of your second house, and she's sextiling it from her Pluto touch points, you could take possession of second house, a chunks of money that are coming into your earnings house during that December time, 11th to 14th, 24th to 25th, and again in March. This is good for your money. This is also really good because Venus is the lord of your home, for finding the ideal home or sanctuary. And as an Aquarius rising, I will be moving. I'm in a temporary rental from renting a friend's place, but I'm looking for something new. So during the time that Venus is in Capricorn, in a trine to the 4th house that she owns in our Aquarian charts, I'm looking for some better home, a better nest, a new nest, a safe nest, a sanctuary that's quite refined and has luxury taste, Venus in Capricorn, that serves her needs. And I do intend to find it by March when she is finally out of Capricorn. So that is exactly what it looks like for me. You may want to beautify your home, change your home, sell or buy your home. Those are things that she can do. And she's picking up speed in power Pluto home stuff, December 11th to 14th, 24th to 25th, and again in March. Also, Venus is the lord of your 9th house of foreign lands and travel, book publishing, higher education, and the meaning of life. And she's activating stuff there, but it's a square. So you might want to go to a foreign land, but you can't, and travel's restricted. You might want to power up your beliefs and figure out your faith, and you really are kind of stuck right now. She operates to power it up, but it may be through friction and challenge rather than ease and flow. All right, moving on. The beginning of the month of December is enchanted first week, starting December 1st with that Neptune trine Mars and Neptune sextile Venus, and that is going to bring simply a fantastical new vision of money and earnings from foreign shores and foreign lands, revenue from afar, revenue from backroom things that you're building and doing that's going to power up something intense in your career, Mars in the 10th house. And you may actually do something the first week of December that is extraordinarily and unexpectedly lucrative, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that to be so successful. I don't know, I'm doing a webinar on the Neptune enchanted sky. Maybe I'll find a lot more people sign up than I thought would. But whatever you do, this is just a sweet chunk of sky around money and career stuff for you Aquarians the first week of December. You want to tap the magic, check out my little class below. Maybe you want to be there December 1st if you listen to it before then, and make some sky magic with me. For your career and your money story to power it up. All right, next. Saturn square Uranus, February, June, and lastly, December 24th, ongoing sky tension that we've all been under. You're going to feel this once again with Uranus in the 4th house of real estate, wanting to break free. I can't believe how many things I've changed since he got there in 2018. I moved from Vancouver to Montreal. I moved from Montreal back to Vancouver. It's up and up and up. We keep doing this thing. And now the Saturn is like, let's stabilize. Let's not do that change thing. Let's hold the fort in the 1st house of identity. I feel that way, guys. I'd rather just not move again. But Saturn is definitely, there's tension from the domestic, private, familial home life, and Saturn in the 1st house. Now, Saturn in the 1st house can make you want to be the authority, the master, the expert, and the sage of something. And the tension from the 4th house may be like, I just want to have Netflix binges at home and I don't want to do anything. You power up the internet at home. But the last gasp of this tension around December 24th could really show you some new freedom and new direction around a home that is lasting, enduring, and that you will stay in for a long time. And I think for a lot of us who have been moving around, who are Aquarian, we'll find that we're really digging into a lasting new home resulting from this tension at the end of the month. I could also say, did I miss something for Aquarius? I think I got all of you, didn't I? Oh my God, I hope I'm not leaving us out to dry. Did I start with I'm having a moment. Yeah, I did. I didn't forget you guys. Okay, so that's it. Disruption in the home can lead to enduring value if it has Saturnian permission, is where I'm going with that. So if I move again, which I will sometime in the next 3 months, and it may be in December that I figure out where, I swear I'm not moving again anytime soon. I'm going to land my butt somewhere and I hopefully hold still. Lastly, Pisces, moon and sun and rising sign people. So first off, November through to March, you've got Venus in the house of your deeper hopes and wishes and aspirations and visions for your future, your 11th house. This is also the house of great gains from your career. And if you're a Pisces and you want more money from your career path, assuming you have a career, then this is where Venus can deliver the goods with her touch point on Pluto. She's powering up your deeper dreams, might give death and rebirth qualities to some of them, but also greater gains financially in your career ambitions, leading to money, promotions, and gains. So look for December 11th to 14th, December 24th to 25th, and the first week of March is a 3-part story of that juice. She is also, the owner of the real estate in your chart that belongs to your house of you. She exalts your first house. She doesn't own it. Jupiter does, but she exalts it. She gives extra special attention. And while she's in your 11th house, she's in a sextile to the house of your physical form, your identity, and she's powering up you to feel more glamorous, more charismatic, more true, more you. And that's because Neptune is there too. You put a glamour on throughout this month of December to charm people with your magical soft glow power. You also have her as the owner of the real estate of your 3rd house of the local neighborhood and trips and travel and skills-based education and a lot of online platforms. If you're Pisces, those are very much an area that's activated by Venus because she is a ruler of it. And during this time, she is also in an earth trine to your 3rd house. So connecting to people in the local neighborhood, networking and socializing, taking short trips and travel can be really beneficial for your financial gain from your career and to power up your hopes, dreams, and wishes, and also your social networks, etc. Schmoozing and networking. She's the owner of your 8th house of investment money, spousal money, inheritances, tax money, liens, tax rebates, mortgages and stuff like that. She's got a hard aspect during December and into March to that 8th house. There's gritty tension between your 11th and your 8th. You can get great gains from your career, or you can aspire to certain dreams and wishes, but you may not be able to achieve success in the mortgages, loans, and spousal money area of the chart. Your partner may not want to support your dreams and wishes. You may not be able to extract money from your partner. Not that you would, but try to do that, but they're just not there to support you. Money from inheritances can be showing up, but it may not be easily flowing to you between now and March. That mini auspicious sky with Neptune, Mars, and Venus in the first week of December is powering up from your 9th house of trips and travel, foreign lands, higher education, book publishing, dreams, dharma, hopes, a true purpose of your life. Mars is there. And he'll be there until December 13th. And he's sending a lot of good energy to Venus in your 11th. Some of you may take a trip to a foreign shore and it will go really, really well. And you're going to feel very happy because that trip can be very much in alignment with some of your deeper hopes and wishes. You may also find that with Neptune in your 1st house, if a trip does emerge, for instance, that is going to bring you into a great place of feeling very enchanted, magical, and inspired about reality, your life, and who you are. If you want to study something that's a course of knowledge or wisdom or learning, that's also a very good time for this to be powered up in the first week of December. Or someone can travel to you as well. Lastly, the end of the month is that Saturn square Uranus grit that you've gone through February and June of 21 already. And this is the last one on the 24th, but you feel it as soon as around the 15th of December building up. Saturn is the god of status quo and steady as she goes and keep it the way it is. But Saturn's in your 12th house. This is the hermit transit. He's been there since December of 20, will be there till spring, March of 23. Solitude, alone, navel gazing, contemplation is important. Letting go of habits, addictions, and patterns that don't serve you Saturn is constraining them. Beliefs and structures of self-undoing, Saturn is constraining them. An elderly person that you care for might be sick in the hospital during this time. The Senex, the elder Saturn in the house of hospitals. I know my sister's a Pisces rising, and she's close to her father-in-law, and he's been sick and in and out of the hospital. So this energy is ongoing. And as Saturn gets ready, and I had that energy a while back, and I had people I know in hospital as well. So that's going on. And then all of a sudden you got this like want to change, want the freedom, want the rebellion in your third house. Doesn't match what Saturn's up to, of siblings, trips and travel, aunts and uncles and cousins, skills-based learning in the online world. Things to do with platforms, social media, and websites. So there's this tension here. Now Uranus is the one with the desire for the change to happen, and Saturn is in dignity, going, we're sticking with what we got. So some of you may find that conflict with a sibling, aunt, uncle, or cousin, or some kind of disruption in your neighborhood, or disruption in your local environment, or disruption with a course you're learning or teaching, can be happening during the last week of December. On the other hand, if you're a writer, Saturn going through your 12th house is ideal for writing. It's almost like the writer's retreat, and Uranus in your third can bring you great bolts of insight and new ideas and downloads. And it's a square, but that doesn't matter. It can be very electrifying in the last week of December. All right, I'm done. Wow, that took a long time. I don't know how people do this. I don't know how content creators keep this pace up. I'm like rethinking my 2022 strategy. I've got a new course I'm putting out that I think is going to kill it. And I'm loving the idea of what I'm creating. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'll be announcing it, I think, sometime in December. And it's going to run starting in February. Okay. And it's not an astrology learning course. It's something new. All right. I'm out of here. I had check the description link for all the shit that I'm offering. Sign up for my newsletter, check out my courses. Please like and subscribe, share and follow, comment. I read all of my comments. If you comment, I read them, I heart them, and I comment back if I think I have something intelligent to say back to you. Thanks for listening. Welcome to the intensity of December. Mwah.